I'm Israel. Yahba Shimmy Al Shabrak thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar La Thunba Shimmy Al Shah to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Quran, y'all of the ISUBK. And it's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Right now we streaming on Oakland Israelites YouTube page as well as Sacramento Israelites Facebook page. You understand? So I'm gonna try to let a couple brothers and sisters get up in here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. Any brothers and sisters is tuned in on Facebook, the Sacramento Israelites page, Baba Kashak, could y'all switch over to the Oakland Israelites page? It's kind of hard to find a channel on YouTube, so you might have to scroll down for a few clicks to find it, so I can see your comments and questions if you have them. Of course, we know the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and currently Sacramento Israelites YouTube page is unable to go live on YouTube. Uh, I know a lot of brothers catch the class on the YouTube platform. You understand? But let's get it started, man. Knowing who is your enemy and who isn't your enemy. Right? Now, contrary to the popular belief in the Black, Latino, and Native American Indian community, we believe that our enemies are the people of our same nation or our same race, and we're the sole reason for our people. We believe that our people are our own enemies. You understand? And these are the people who oppress us. These are the people who do harm to us willingly, and which, if you dig deeper into the history of the oppression of blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and other nations have always created conflict amongst us with the divide and conquer mechanism. You understand? And it's no different than when the Greeks ruled. It's no different when the Babylonians ruled. It's no different when the Assyrians ruled, the Egyptians ruled, the Romans, so forth and so on. It's the same thing as today. You understand? And the reason why the Black, Latino, and Native American Native American Indian community as a whole is in shambles, and we don't see the value and brotherhood in our people is simple. It's because of the other nations that taking crafty counsel, the Bible says, and tricking the nation of Israel into believing that we're the problem when the rest of these nations are the problem. You understand? Now, this goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. You understand how our people was oppressed, and our brothers and sisters, we fought tooth and nail for crumbs because of another nation being on top of us, and uh, us not seeing the benefit of coming together as a nation. You understand? So like I'm gonna get Zephaniah 2 on, because these scriptures are very pivotal in the children of Israel actually understanding that we have to come together and understanding who our nation is. So I'm just like who, and understanding who our enemy is. So it can make it a little bit easier for us to come out of poverty, come out of being afflicted by these other nations, right? It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. You understand? Lord is giving us the medicine on how to fix our community, how to come together in perfect harmony and brotherhood. We, like I say all the time, we can't come together if you're a Muslim, the next brother's a Christian, I'm in the UPK, and then somebody else is a Buddhist. Now we got to come together up under these law, statutes, and commandments, thus saith the Lord. because this is what's going to govern a community. This is what's going to govern a nation to prevent us from being oppressed, prevent us from wreaking havoc amongst each other, prevent us from being violent towards our own families. You understand? And us coming together, the importance of us coming together, and the very thing that's preventing us from coming together is us marrying spiritually, physically, understand, and philosophically with the rest of these other nations. You understand? Now, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? We we have been trained in this empire to believe what we believe, to think how we think, to dress how we dress. You understand? To speak how we speak, to look at our own fellow brothers and sisters as somebody that's not worthy of love from their own brothers and sisters in their own community. And and all of this starts with it starts in slavery, right? But it started before slavery, right? As far as the slavery in this empire, you understand? These methods that the oppressor, of course, they'll flag us if we flat out say who the oppressor is. But these methods that the oppressor have taken against the children of Israel, these are ancient ways that they learned from the societies that ruled over us in the beginning. You understand? But the difference between our oppressor today and the oppressor back then, these oppressors today, they took out of the manuscript of the Greeks. You understand? Which the Greeks, these were the Greeks were the first nation on planet Earth to rule over the children of Israel that actually stripped us of our identity and took our way of life from us and basically forced upon us a heathenistic culture. You understand? And made it a law against the children of Israel that it was illegal for us to do what we did as a nation. You understand? It was illegal for us to keep our law, statutes, and commandments, and so as much to where they would kill us for this. Like, matter of fact, let me get a piece of that. Right, dig back into the history of the Greeks and what they actually did to the children of Israel. All right, and those oppressors from the days of old, they the same ones as today. All right. This is the book of Slaki. I'm gonna go before that. Let's go to First Maccabees. All right, First Maccabees in the first chapter. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. Now, this is talking about so-called Alexander the Greek. You understand? Or what they call him, Alexander the Great. You understand? This is the first oppressor of this of the nation that's oppressing the children of Israel today. Well, he's the first one to actually rule over planet Earth out of this nation of people back in the time of the I believe about the 300 BCs. You understand? This is about 300, 350 years, 350 years before Christ was even born. You understand? And Alexander the Greek, he was the first of this red nation. That's what I'm gonna call him, of this red nation that runs planet Earth today. He was the first king of these people to actually rule over planet Earth at that time. You understand? And what happened was he conquered the known world at that time, right? In so much as he uh he did it in a short amount of time. He did it in about 12 years. You understand? And in the 12th year of him reigning, you understand, he ended up dying from some god awful disease, probably because he was a flaming sodomite. You understand? But nonetheless, right? His kingdom continued on. You understand? He parted his kingdom amongst his four top generals. You understand? Seleucus, Epiphanes, Antiochus, and Ptolemy, right? These was his four top generals, right? So they ran different parts of the world. They ran Macedonia, they ran Greece, they ran the Middle East, all the way down into Egypt, and I believe they ran India as well, right? And anything in between of these Greek provinces, right? So after he died, right, he parted his kingdom into four to these four generals. And what they did was, it says, Salakia, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. You understand? Meaning that they made themselves kings. They made themselves rulers over these different provinces, and basically they didn't. I don't want to say they separated the kingdom of the Greeks, but it was different provinces of the Greeks that was ruled by different men. But all of these men came from the military background of Alexander the Greek. You understand? It says, so did their sons after them many years, and they passed down these kingdoms until their sons. You understand? For many years, right? The Greeks ruled Slovakia. Greeks ruled, I believe, probably like 700 years or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But they ruled for a long time before the Romans came in. You understand? Which the Romans, these are the same people, the biblical Edomites that the Bible speaks of, the nation that's on planet Earth that rules planet Earth today. You understand? These so-called red people that you see on planet Earth today, all of these people are descended from their forefather father Esau, whose name was changed into Edom. This is where your Greeks come from, your Romans, your Spaniards, your so forth, your so on, your Brits. You understand? Of course, the later British people and the later Spaniards, because of course those nations was previously occupied and ruled by so-called dark people. You understand? But anyway, nonetheless, these people, they ended up passing down these kingdoms from the Alexander the Greek dynasty. You understand? Between these four generals, right? And they did this for many years. You understand? Kept passing down these kingdoms until their sons, right? Shalaku. And evils were multiplied in the earth. Now, the Bible says evils were multiplied in the earth. And what is the Lord meaning by evils multiplied in the earth? These were the most wickedest people that you ever heard of. You understand? Big shout out to Commanding General Yohana. You understand? First of all, for never dropping this sword, for giving us a place of refuge, fighting these beasts. You understand? Because that's what the Lord likens these nations to, as beasts. And this chief beast, you understand, these so-called Edomites that run planet Earth, from Alexander the Greek to the Romans all the way up until today, these people multiplied evils in the planet Earth. You understand? Now, Commander General Yohana, him and Officer Yediah, shout out to Officer Yediah out there in Philly as well. You understand? They on the Black Watch, I urge you to go watch it if you haven't. They promoted a documentary that came from a book, and the book is called Drugs Used Against Us as a Weapon. This is a excellent documentary. You understand? If you want to understand the oppressor, if you want to understand his ways on how he conquered planet Earth and how evils were multiplied in Earth, that is a great documentary to go watch. You understand? Now, these people, you understand, which is in their nature to be evil people. You understand? The Lord created them solely for them to be evil. You understand? But when you look at this documentary, it tells you the diabolical, the psychological, the oh man, these people are wicked and evil as hell. You understand? And it didn't just start from the time of the 16 and 17 and 1800s. We reading about the Greeks in First Maccabees and the Apocrypha. This is about 300 BC when this began to happen. You understand? So 300 years before Christ Salakia walked on planet Earth. You understand? These Edomites, you understand, these so-called red people that run the planet Earth today, they've been doing this. You understand? I'm gonna read that again. It says, Salakia. And evils were multiplied in the earth. You understand? This is where prostitution comes from. This is where drug dealing on a mass scale comes from. You understand? This is where call it forcing people to adhere to a custom or a culture by way of murder. You understand? Or by the way of unaliving someone. These Greeks started this. You understand? This is when the evils was multiplied on earth, stealing other people's culture. Because you got to understand, right? These Macedonians, mind you, these is Edomites. They homeland is Mount Seir. You understand? In the Middle East. All right. The fact that they rule over Europe right now, you understand, is so heavy in this. That's not even their homeland. You understand? They've been stealing, robbing, raping, conquering. You understand? This is literally how they get down. You understand? From Alexander the Greek, you understand? From Esau himself, their forefather, you understand? When we came up out of Egypt and how they did us as far as killing the feeble people and trying to take advantage of the women and children when we was leaving up out of Egypt, you understand, with nothing to our name. You understand? These people been this evil. And this is your enemy according to the scriptures. And not only according to the scriptures, according to history. You understand? If you go to court, right? If you go to court and you have a defendant, you have the prosecution, you have the defendant and his attorney, the prosecution, which is the district attorney, you understand? Depending on how big your case is, you might be your name might say so and so versus the state of California, or your name might say so and so versus the people of the United States. You understand? Either or, this is a court case to determine if you're guilty of crimes that's being brought up against you. You understand? And the judge not being biased, he has to sit there and listen to both sides, get the evidence, you understand, and then render a verdict, you understand, or render judgment on who was wrong in this party, or set the person free, you understand. And what we do in the ISUBK is, all we do, we look at the evidence, you understand, of who the oppressor is. So let me get that. Let's go to the book of Job. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Questions, comments, Baba Kasha. We would definitely appreciate it. The water for the new subscribers, the water for the brothers and sisters that's supporting us. But Salakia. Or book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You understand? The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. The Lord allowed the wicked people of the planet Earth, you understand, to rule the planet Earth. And who is the wicked of the planet Earth? I mean, you have to go by the evidence of who's doing all of the wicked on planet Earth. You understand? You have to go by the evidence of the who runs planet Earth. You understand? Who can distribute money to nations? You understand? Who owns all of these corporations? Who does business on a mass scale to and fro all throughout the earth? Who has a strong grip on the natural resources all throughout planet Earth? I ain't got to spell it out for you. Understand? Everybody on planet Earth knows who run everything. You understand? Read that again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You understand? Wicked has the whole earth in the palm of its hand. and every other nation eating out of the palm of his hand. You understand? He covereth the Salaki. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. You understand? He covered up the faces of the judges. Who is the judges? Who's supposed to be the judges over the planet Earth? The children of Israel. You understand? Which is blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But as soon as you go to church, you understand, or you go to Brazil and you see that big, large mega statue of Caesar Borgia's son, which is a goddamn oppressor. You understand? Which is a Spaniard, a Roman, a Greek. All of these people are the same people. You understand? But they covered up the faces of the judges. They covered up the face of Christ. You understand? When Acts, the first chapter, Salakia, not Acts, the first chapter, Revelations, the first chapter, in the 13th verse, you understand, explains exactly how Christ looked. You understand? The Bible is about the children of Israel who are born in the Middle East. You understand? If you look at the history of the people of the Middle East, these are people of color. You understand? These is people of different shades of brown complexions. You understand? These wicked people, you understand, that run planet Earth, they've covered up the faces of the judges thereof. You understand? Salaki. If not, where and who is he? You understand? If not, where and who is he? You understand? Like, if the wicked of the earth, if the oppressor is not the person that runs planet Earth, that's funded all of these wars, that went to war with China to distribute opium to their people to get them strung out on drugs, that funded these same type of drugs inside of the black community in the 1960s, then double back and did it in the early 80s. You understand? With the CIA and the Contras and COINTELPRO and murdered off all of our goddamn leaders. If these ain't the wicked that run the planet Earth, then who the hell is he? You understand? If this is not the people that oppress blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians and pit us against each other to where we fighting tooth and nail for some goddamn crumbs in the ghetto, then who is he? I can't fathom who the hell the wicked on planet Earth could be, but the evidence points to only one nation of people. You understand? And we see that nation of people, right? Look, they did so much with the opium wars. You understand? The CIA, MK Ultra, all of these different organizations that was built by these oppressors. Look at all of these damn prestigious colleges. If you look and if you look what was going on in the world between the what was that company called? The Slovakia, British Indian, the British East Indian Company, I believe that was the name of it. You understand? Which these are oppressors that run India. You understand? That pushed all of these drugs on these Asian countries. You understand? And when the Asians didn't want their people strung out on drugs, these same Edomites, you understand? These same oppressors, they went and made war with these nations because these nations didn't want to get oppressed by these people by them pushing drugs on their community and crippling their population. So what they do, they went to war with these people, you understand, and decimated their empire and ultimately got control over the goddamn world by selling a whole lot of dope. You understand? This is why in the ISUBK up under Commander General Honor, these scriptures are so vital and pivotal for us to actually become a great nation. You understand? For us to become a nation that sustains itself. And this is a defense against oppression from a nation of people who just wants to decimate you, who just want to slaughter you, who want to build up businesses in your community and reap the benefits off of your people being destroyed. The ISUBK up under Commander General Yohana, the only authorized school to actually teach blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans these holy scriptures. We are a place of refuge that will get you up out of hell. You understand? Like, you got these niggas in these Christian churches. A nigga will tell you, man, look, you gotta let go and let God forgive your enemy. Man, when the scriptures say forgive your enemy and bless them who curse you, that's not talking about a goddamn oppressor. That's not talking about somebody who's a descendant of the people that funneled drugs in your goddamn communities. You understand? And now they living deliciously because they family funded all of these Ivy League schools off of their ancestors pushing opium across the goddamn world. And now you got an opiate addiction problem in the black community right now. Look at all of these young brothers that's popping Percocets and drinking all this syrup. You understand? And brothers is dying from seizures and heart attacks at 25 goddamn years old. You understand? The JP Morgans, the Rockefellers, all of these big nations of Salaki, all of these big families of people in this one goddamn nation that own all of these corporations have built their empire off of the drugs that our kids are being slaughtered for. You understand? Have built an empire off of the drugs that our kids are overdosing over. You understand? And all they doing is building up prestigious colleges. You understand? Passing down wealth, generational wealth, down to their great grandsons, and now they great grandsons are sitting in the same high seats that they sat in back in the day, and they telling you that slavery, they never had a hand in it. Meanwhile, they still have the businesses and corporations that they obtained from their foreparents because of slavery. That's who your goddamn enemy is. If you a Crip or blood, you understand? Your enemy is not that person from that gang from the opposite side of the goddamn city. You understand? Your enemy is the people that oppressed your people so goddamn much to where you thought that you had no choice but to create a gang in order to police your community against the Caucasian oppressors. Excuse me. I don't want to say against the red man oppressors. You understand? That came through your communities in the 1950s and 60s and sick dogs on you. You understand? Funnel drugs in your communities in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. You understand? You got the jump out squads that's jumping out on brothers and sisters, beating the hell out of them. Police brutality all through your black community, which started organizations like the Crips. You understand? Community Revolutionary in Progress. I believe that was the first acronym for it. You understand? The Bloods. They was a fight oppression group at one point in time, and both of these factions they got some of their ideas and some of their literature from the Black Panthers, and the Black Panthers was infiltrated by FBI agents, CIA agents that funneled drugs in their communities. You understand? Doped up Huey P. Newton. You understand? Doped up a number of their leaders. Drug Fred Hampton. You understand? Fred Hampton was in a sedated sleep the day that they came to his house and murdered him with his 2 year. What matter of fact, I think Fred Hampton Jr. was an infant at that time. You understand? These are your oppressors. You understand? These are your enemies. Your enemies is not the people that does not control what's going on in your neighborhood. Don't no nigga control nothing that's going on in the neighborhood. You know how niggas don't control nothing in the neighborhood? That same gang leader or the person that's pushing all the drugs on that back street or in your projects in your neighborhood, if he's outside and he got a goddamn gun in his pocket and the police jump out on him, he's gonna run. He gonna run because he don't run anything. You understand? He's oppressed by these goddamn Edomites, just like you are. And the sooner that blacks, Latinos, and Native American enemies understand who our enemies are and who our enemies are not, the better off we're gonna be. Matam ya, Yabashim Al Shabarakata, the water for tapping in. I appreciate you. You understand? Salakia. I'm so sick and tired of niggas talking about the ops. Nigga talking about, oh, he my op, or them the ops, or F the ops. You niggas ain't about F the ops. The ops is your government. The ops is the ones that drafted your uncles into the war, you understand, in Vietnam and got them strung out on heroin and didn't give them no retirement plan after they fought tooth and nail for this goddamn country and came back with limbs missing, fingers and toes missing. You understand? Salakia, PTSD from seeing so many people blown up in that goddamn war that had nothing to do with black people The war was literally just about America wanting to smash on the supply of dope that was in Vietnam. That's what was going on in the Vietnam War and all of these goddamn world wars. Like the war on drugs is a goddamn myth in the black community. You understand? You know what the war on drugs is? World War One. You understand the opium wars in the mid 1700s. You understand? That's the war on drugs. The war on drugs is your goddamn oppressor, your enemy, going to somebody else's land. You understand? Pushing their ways of life on them. You understand? Forcing their government to allow them to funnel drugs into their community so they can build up prestigious colleges like Harvard and Yale. That's the war on drugs. The war on drugs is not America trying to crack down on some young crack dealer. You understand that? Nah, damn right, Matam Yah. Not just American gangster. You understand? Britain gangster. You understand? World gangster. That's what they is. They world gangsters. Your oppressor is a goddamn gangster. You understand? Salaki, I got to get that. Proverbs 3:31. Because we like the Christian church has failed black people, man. Christian church is so goddamn evil and failed black people miserably. We don't understand how much information is out there about who's actually oppressing the children of Israel because of Christianity. Christianity is not giving you classes like this to where a young nigga from off the streets, fresh out the penitentiary, he done been to jail back and forth. You got brothers that done been YA, used to be drug dealers. You got brothers that come from all different walks of life. You understand? And our background is the street background. You understand? A lot of us in here. You understand? And these brothers come in here and they teach these classes with so much zeal. You would think a nigga went to one of these Ivy League schools. When we learned everything, we learned from Commanding General Yohana. We learned everything that we have, you understand, to give blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians the medicine on how to fix our goddamn people from a bunch of ex-drug dealers, from a bunch of project niggas who actually figured out because the Lord chose them to work for them. You understand? To actually how to fix your goddamn nation and not how to be a sucker, just like these Christian pastors and like some of these goddamn rappers that's sitting up there laughing at brothers because you ain't got the money that the next nigga got. You understand? Trust me, Salakia. Let me get Proverbs 3 verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor. That's what's going on in the black community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all Shamar Lathan by Shimi Awashah, sis. The water for tapping in. I appreciate you. Got my sister sign you up in here, man. Appreciate you, sis. You understand? Proverbs 3:31 from the top again. Envy thou not the oppressor. That's what happened. You understand? Damn right, sis. Damn right, Matam Yah. You understand? That's what happened in our communities. You understand? You got a lot of our political leaders who actually envied the oppressor. They envied the power and the wealth and the lust that the oppressor was able to fulfill with all his trickery. You understand? With all his evilness and wickedness. This is why you got niggas like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King, Creflo Dollar. This is why you got these so-called religious leaders or these so-called pillars in the black community that ain't done shit for the black community. That ain't fixed nobody's problems in the black community because they don't care about you actually fixing your own damn self. You understand? But at the same time, though, this is a Tuesday night brotherhood class. I'm not telling you to hate these brothers. You understand? I'm telling you to wake up and smell the coffee. I'm telling you to understand who your oppressor is. You understand? And you're not supposed to envy him. You understand? When you envy your oppressor, you envying your enemy, and then naturally you're gonna choose the way of life of your enemy, and you're gonna turn your back on your own goddamn people. That's what all of these big head Negroes did. That's what all of these wicked niggas in these suits did. They parade themselves to be men of God, walking around here with these goddamn suits on. Meanwhile, nigga, you done sold out and went to go sleep with the enemy, literally. You understand? You got a lot of these these so-called religious leaders that are quite fond of these nasty Edomite women. You understand? And they quite fond of doing all of the drugs that their oppressor do. You know why? Because they don't understand Proverbs 3 and 31. You're never going to hear Proverbs 3 and 31 in a goddamn Christian church because your pastor don't give a damn about you. You understand? Salakia. Alina, she asking for water? Alina, is she asking for water? If she is, come down here and get her some. Is she asking you for water? No. All right, go ahead. Edomites are notorious at deceiving the world. Exactly, Madam Yah. You so damn right. And this is why one of our slogans in the UPK is your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because a devil is somebody that deceives people. You understand? They deceives everybody. Like you literally have people striving to get to college. You understand? You got people striving, our people striving to get to these Ivy League schools. Meanwhile, they don't even understand that the people that built these schools funded these schools from selling opium in the goddamn 1700s. You understand? Because they deceived the whole goddamn world. Like the scriptures say, Satan then transformed to an angel of light. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? That's the same thing that your oppressor did. The Lord has his chosen people, and Satan got his own goddamn chosen people too as well. And it just happens to be some Edomite man with a goddamn suit on. You understand? And it's not just him. It's not just the rich of these people, or it's the poor ones too. You understand? You seen what happened at the Capitol. You understand? When these oppressors then rallied up to go basically take hold of the American political system by force. You understand? You see what's going on? These Edomites is crazy as hell. You understand? And those are your oppressors, and those are your enemies. Salakia. And choose none of his ways. We're not supposed to be drug dealers. You're not supposed to be a pimp. You're not supposed to hate your own brother. Look at Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, the left wing and the right wing. All of these goddamn Edomites, they hate each other. They look. Russia is decimating Ukraine right now, from what they telling us. You understand? But these is the same nation of people. You understand? If you don't know the history of Ukraine, Ukraine used to literally be a part of Russia. You understand? And now Russia is oppressing Ukraine. You understand? Beating up on his little brother. You understand? And that's the spirit that blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians take on when you choose to look at your own brothers and sisters like they're your enemies. You understand? You know different than the Democrats and the Republicans fighting tooth and nail to have their political party reign supreme over American politics. You understand? That's the same thing as Bloods and Crips. Why you think they use the same damn colors? Because we have envied our oppressors and we want to be just like them, and we chose their ways. Your oppressor is the biggest goddamn drug dealer on planet Earth. Your oppressor is the biggest pimp on planet Earth. You understand? The Playboy pinup girls, the first prostitutes. You understand? The first adult film stars. All of these was Caucasian women. You understand? And they've been doing this before our sisters even considered what a goddamn hot girl summer was. When men actually ran our household in the 1950s and the 40s, you understand? These oppressors, the oppressor's daughter was a full-blown whore. You understand? And she's been a full-blown whore. She's been taking advantage of male slaves. You understand? Back in the times of us being in physical slavery. She's been doing all of this. You understand? So it's so goddamn evil for us to not understand who our real enemy is according to these scriptures, because Christianity has no brotherhood for the black community. You understand? Christianity wants to line its pockets with the oppressor's money while niggas keep getting murdered on the street corners every goddamn day because we don't know who we are. You understand? Salakia. Let me get Matter of fact, let's go to the beginning, man. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis, the 46th chapter. You understand? And let's listen to what Joseph told his brothers. You understand? Because Joseph understood what type of people that he was dealing with. Remember, Joseph was a slave in Egypt. He was a slave in Egypt that was in control of his master's. He was control of all of his master's goods. You understand? Anything that was the master's, Joseph was in control of that. You understand? And what happened was Joseph prospered in the eyes of the Lord because the Lord was with him, and everything that his Egyptian master had prospered as well. You understand? So, in a sense, the Lord actually looked out for the master through Joseph. You understand? He made his household prosperous because Joseph was over that. And what happened? The master's wife wanted to have sex with Joseph. And Joseph, having so much goddamn integrity, he was like, hell no, I'm not dealing with you. You are my master's wife. He gave me everything that he owns except for you. I'm not going to sin by the Lord, number one, and I'm not going to betray him. And what did this goddamn nasty broad do? She lied on Joseph, accused him of trying to rape her, and Joseph did a lot of time in prison. You understand? I believe upwards of 10 years or something like that. But Joseph did a lot of time in prison. And then on top of that, the Lord being with Joseph, Joseph was released, restored back to where he was before he went to prison. And then the Lord dealt with him even more. You understand? In a prosperous manner, to where Joseph actually became second in command of not just his master's household, he became second in command of the whole goddamn Egypt. But Joseph understood how wicked and nasty these Egyptians was because of what happened with his master. You understand? Before he was in prominence in Egypt, with his master and his master's wife. He understood how wicked and evil these goddamn Egyptians was. So when it came time for his family to actually move down into Egypt, this is what Joseph told his brothers. All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 46, and verse 31. And Joseph, which Joseph is Yawasap in the Hebrew. You understand? Big shout out to Officer 5000 Yawasap. Said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh and say unto him, my brethren and my father's house, which were in the land of Canaan, and are come unto me. You understand? So he about to introduce his family to Pharaoh. He about to introduce his family to the king of Egypt, right? Now this is Joseph having a conversation to his brothers, right? Verse 32. And the men are shepherds, for their trade have been to feed cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass when Pharaoh shall call you and shall say, what is your occupation? You understand? So now he like, look, I'm about to come introduce y'all to Pharaoh, and I'm about to tell Pharaoh what we do, how we get out. We shepherds. You understand? This is our way of life. This is how we get out. This is our custom. And it's a very important reason why Joseph is telling his brothers what he's about to do, and why he's telling his brothers that we shepherds and this is our way of life. You understand? This is extreme brotherhood that he having on his family. All right. Verse 34. That shall Salaki, that ye shall say, thy servants' trade have been about cattle from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. The reason why Joseph is bringing his brothers unto Pharaoh to show Pharaoh that his brothers are shepherds is because he knows it's an abomination to these Egyptians, and his family is going to be separate from this nation that would otherwise oppress them. That's why he told them, look, this is our way of life. This is how we get down. We know y'all don't get down like this. We know this is abomination to you. Now that you know how we get down, you're gonna have to separate us from you because you don't want to be around us because we abominable to you. You understand? Joseph understood that these Egyptians wasn't his friends. He understood that these Egyptians would eventually become the enemies to the children of Israel if they stayed in close enough proximity to them so they can oppress them. That's exactly what happened in Egypt. You understand? And Salaki, I'm gonna read. Let's go to Exodus, the first chapter, and let me show you exactly what these Egyptians did, because these Egyptians was not friendly to the children of Israel. You understand? Of course, they showed Joseph some gratitude, but look, Joseph saved your whole goddamn nation. The least you can do is have mercy on his brother and have his family live amongst y'all in a different in a different area than y'all, separate than y'all, but in your land. Because if it wasn't for Joseph, you wouldn't even have a goddamn land. You understand? And that's what your oppressor understands too. Your oppressor understands that. Look, these blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, they built up this country, but we don't give a damn about that because they are the enemies to the children of Israel. They don't give a damn about what the hell we did for this country. They don't care about how many, what's it called? About how many, like inventions that they stole from us. You understand? How about all the money that they made off of blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians in these shady entertainment music industry deals? You understand? These movie deals. They don't give a damn about how much money that they made off of the children of Israel during the crack epidemic. You understand? During the heroin epidemic. You understand? In the early and late 60s and in the 70s. They don't give a damn about how many of our brothers and sisters that they actually put in prison. You understand? That's a descendant of the slaves that actually built up the wealth in this country for you to be able to actually oppress us. You understand? Salakia. The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. So this is a new king. He don't know Joseph, nor does he give a damn about what Joseph contributed to Egypt. You understand? He a new king. He don't give a damn about Joseph. He don't care about the children of Israel. All right. And he said unto his people, behold, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. This is a enemy talking about you, blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You understand? He like, look, check this out, bro. Man, these niggas is more and mightier than us. You understand? They better than us. This ain't no equal opportunity that these Egyptians is trying to have with the children of Israel. You understand? This is the same mind, like the Lord calls this place spiritual Sodom and Egypt. You understand? For all of the abominable homosexual acts that's going on in this country, for the children of Israel actually being in slavery the same way we was back in ancient Egypt. You understand? The Lord is so right in these scriptures and lining up what happened to us in ancient Egypt to actually what's happening to us today. Matter of fact, the Lord said he was going to send us into Egypt in with ships. You back here in Egypt, children of Israel. You understand? Salakia. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. You understand? These people want to deal wisely with you. You understand? This the drugs. You understand? This is the propaganda. This these black exploitation films from the 70s, the early 80s. You understand? The CIA Contra war that funded crack cocaine, that decimated the black communities around the time where my generation was actually being born. You got brothers and sisters, mothers that started smoking crack in the 80s, and they still smoking crack right now in 2023. You understand? You got the opioid epidemic, you understand, that's happening in the black community that people is turning a blind eye to. All of this is because they dealt wisely with the children of Israel, just like they did in ancient Egypt. These ain't your friends that live with you, that work amongst you. You understand? Look, if you think an oppressor of is your goddamn friend that work at your job, ask him, should his nation of people pay for slavery? 10 times out of 10, he's gonna be like, well, I never had slaves. My people don't benefit from slavery. Meanwhile, you living in America on stolen goddamn land. You understand? You don't you got better opportunities than the people that actually built up this empire for your ancestors. You understand? You go. Man, look. I wish I would hear a oppressor say, "I work for everything I got. I went to Harvard. I went to Yale." Oh, you did? Well, the same opportunity that allowed you to go to Harvard and Yale, you understand? 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you live in a goddamn neighborhood where the American government told us we can't even buy homes in that neighborhood. Understand? After we got out of slavery, you had places like Tulsa, Oklahoma. You understand? A lot of these different Black Wall Streets. It wasn't just Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a lot of different places that uh, uh, these jealous Edomites destroyed our metropolises. You understand? Paid us back and then decimated it by bestowing civil rights on the minds of black people, by telling us we should come together with the same people that crippled our communities. You understand? Decimated our economies, and not to mention slaughtered our goddamn ancestors. You understand? All of these crimes that's been committed against the children of Israel, and you still don't know who your slave is. I mean, your enemy is blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You still don't know that you're the slave to the oppressor. That's a descendant of the people that committed these crimes. You don't know who your enemy is. Well, I'm showing you right now. You understand? Salakia, uh, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. You understand that? Deal wisely with you. Funneling drugs in your communities. You understand? Eugenics program, killing your goddamn black leaders. You understand? Doping them up. This is all what your enemies did to you. You understand? These abortion clinics strategically placed in your neighborhood. You understand? Putting this god awful music out there through the airwaves to actually get our sisters to abort their babies, to kill off their own goddamn nation, to oppress the men in their damn neighborhoods, to kick these brothers out of the houses who actually ran the neighborhood just because your oppressor offered you welfare in the 1970s, the early 70s, mid 70s, late 60s. You understand? Up until crack came, and now you have nobody else to watch over these damn neighborhoods. So now these same kids that was born in the 70s, now they the big kingpin drug dealers. And all of these niggas then went to jail in the 80s and in the early 90s, especially in California when that three-strike law hit up under the Clinton administration. You understand? Ronald Reagan, you know what I'm saying? George H.W. Bush, all the way down to Clinton up until today. These are your enemies. You understand? These is the people that oppressed you. These is the people that dealt wisely with your nation. You understand? Salakia. Verse 11, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. You understand? Look, once again, this happened in ancient Egypt. You understand? Your taskmasters, that's a slave master. You understand? Somebody that will sit over you in the field and beat your goddamn back and make sure you filled your quota on that cotton that you were supposed to pick every goddamn day from sun up to sundown. You understand? And they afflict you. Your burden is that goddamn work that you putting in. You understand? Same as today. Your taskmaster is that supervisor today. You understand? Whatever goddamn industry you work in to build up the economy for some damn oppressor, it's the same damn slavery that you went through back in the days. You understand? Oh yeah. Of course, today they give you your money. Back then they ain't give you money. They gave you room and board. You understand? They gave you somewhere to sleep and menial food to put in your stomach. You understand? It's the same today. You pay your goddamn rent. You put gas in your car to get to your damn job. You might have a couple of dollars left over to get a drink or probably smoke some goddamn weed because you so oppressed and you can't take it in this empire. As soon as that paycheck is spent, you waiting on the next one. Living paycheck to paycheck is slavery, period. You understand? I don't give a damn who you is. And even if you ain't living paycheck to paycheck, if you stop doing what you're doing, you're going to go hungry. You're gonna lose all your damn assets. You understand? The brother Young Dolph that got killed a couple of years ago. I believe he had an album called Rich Slave. He understood that he knew he was a slave to the oppressor. You understand? And this brother had millions of dollars in diamonds and cars and mansions and all of this. But yet he still named a project Rich Slave. You understand? And you got niggas in the black community that don't even have a percentage of the money that Young Dolph has. But these niggas do not understand that you still in slavery. You understand? They just took the chains off your feet and off your arms, and then they put them on your mind. All right, because you don't know who your oppressor is. You don't know who your enemy is. All right, Salakia. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pythons and Ramesses. You understand? Python and Ramses. These is treasure cities. That's Frisco. That's New Orleans. You understand? That's Washington, D.C. A treasure city is a big city where your oppressor can make money in. You understand? Any place that got a goddamn football team or basketball team, some type of professional sports team where they sell tickets, concessions, make a whole lot of goddamn money, and you got billionaire team owners, that is a treasure city. Period. You understand? A place where you got attractions to bring your damn kids. You understand? Disney World. You understand? Six Flags, Marine World. All of these places, you understand, are in treasure cities because these treasure cities have been built by blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You understand? It's the same thing back in them times. You understand? Salakia. But the more they but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the more they afflict blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we just keep having babies. You got one Issacharite sister, one Issacharite brother. Between the two of them, they got about 9 kids together. Still in this empire in today and age, 2023. Back in the 60s and in the 40s and the 50s, it'd be one Judite couple, you understand? In St. Louis, some goddamn where, or in Oakland or Mississippi, you understand, or Miami, or somewhere in Harlem, New York. And they've been together for about 10, 12 years, you understand, and got 8 babies. Young couples having a whole lot of kids. That's the children of Israel. The Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. You understand? And he blessed the wombs of our sisters to bring forth a whole lot of seeds of the children of Israel. You understand? And that's what happened in his empire. The more they afflicted us, the more kids we had. You understand? And they was grieved of us. You understand? They mean to be grieved of you. It vexes their spirit to see niggas. Now that's the best way I could put it for you. You understand? Man, I go to the grocery store all the time. If I'm with my rib and all my kids, you should see the dirty looks that oppressors give to me. It's like it's almost like they looking at me like who the hell this nigga think he is? Having a damn family. Like they literally look at us like who, like the audacity of you to actually be in your children's life. Don't let me be in the supermarket by my damn self. It's the look is damn near even dirtier. Like, hold on, this nigga actually love his kids? Man, we gotta stop this shit. Excuse my friends. This Negro, man, he probably gonna spread around his goddamn seed and be all in the grocery store with 9, 10 of them little nigger babies. That's how they look at you because they grieved of you. You understand? Don't let it be the Issacharite brothers and sisters together in a goddamn supermarket with all of their 9 children and everybody having a ball, stocking up on all of the fruits and vegetables and meats that they need to sustain their family. Man, look, the oppressor damn near look at my Latino brothers and sisters worse than they look at niggas these days. You understand? They look at the the Issacharite brothers and sisters in the northern kingdom as a whole, they look at them as a goddamn cancer in the society. You understand? It's almost like okay, they black. I could deal with seeing some niggas. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, because I mean, we here. Y'all brought us here. You understand? But when they see the Northern Kingdom, it's the disgust level, it be damn near times 10 versus when they look at me. You understand? And it's evil as hell. It's ridiculous. But it's to be expected because that's who your enemy is. You understand? Salakia. Uh Reading on. And the children at Salakia, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. You understand? They made our lives bitter with hard bondage. You understand? And made us serve with rigor. You understand? In these times, they can't they can't physically harm you, but they can emotionally score you on how they talk to you or how they tell you. You understand? I am the second coming of Jesus Christ. Man, look, Christ said, "Many shall come in my name." Don't let them deceive you. Whoever you are, Aiden, Thatker, and I know you a goddamn Edomite with that name, Salakia. You understand? If you want to troll, go ahead and troll all you want to. I'm gonna just ignore your goddamn comments because we're about business up here, and I'm trying to educate blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We ain't got no, have no business even in this class unless you just want to spy on me. But in these times, your oppressor, they make you serve with rigor. You understand? And your life is bitter because of the hard bondage that you gotta live. And live Salakia, serve in order to live. You understand? Salakia. I'm gonna jump down to Exodus chapter 2 and verse Salakia. Exodus 2 and chapter 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So Moses, you understand, when he got older, of course, you understand the story of Moses. Moses actually grew up in the house of Pharaoh. He grew up rich amongst Egyptians, you understand? But he knew who his people was. So when he got grown, he went to go check on what was going on with his brethren. You understand? And when he got out there, he seen the oppression that the enemy was bestowing on his fellow brother. You understand? On one of the children of Israel. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. You understand? Moses had the zeal to end the oppression of the children of Israel. But of course, him not understanding what the truth is, him not being in the truth, him not being chosen by the Lord at that time, he went about it carnally and he killed the Egyptian. You understand? But it was all in the spirit of actually wanting his people to be freed. You understand? Wanting his enemies to cease from ruling over the children of Israel, right? Verse 12. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw, Salakia, verse 13. And when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together. You understand? So the next day, he went out and he seen two Hebrew brothers fighting each other because of the oppression that they're going through. You understand? Mind you, this is in a time where the firstborn sons is being killed. You understand? This is in a time of us being afflicted with these burdens. You understand? This is in a time of us being oppressed, right? From us building up these treasure cities for Pharaoh, right? They reaping all of the benefits off of the free labor that they getting from the children of Israel. They paying us with bread and goddamn beer. You understand? And clothes. Like we literally serving out the same slavery that we did in these times. We living in the projects at this time. You understand? It's drugs in our communities in ancient Egypt. Brothers is getting high and getting drunk out of their goddamn mind because we been oppressed. That's what happened in ancient Egypt. You understand? So these two brothers, they fighting against each other because of the oppression, because of the empire that they living in, not actually having love for the children of Israel and not actually paying the children of Israel back for what the children of Israel have contributed to their empire to make them a mighty nation. So these brothers is fighting amongst each other. You understand? Salakia. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? He like, man, look, y'all brothers, man, we supposed to come together and actually love one another. All right. And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. And what did he say to Moses? He like, man, nigga, we don't want to hear all that shit. Excuse my French. I don't want to hear that black power shit. You understand? I don't want to hear that, oh, y'all brothers. They ain't want to hear none of that because of how much we was being oppressed by our enemies. We got oppressed so much by our enemies back in the times of ancient Egypt that we thought that our own fellow man was the enemy. We thought that another person of the children of Israel was the enemy, and we thought that uh, the oppression that's going on with us, the brother that lives next door to you in the same goddamn conditions in the same projects that you live in, he has a reason or something to do with why you being oppressed or why you poor. You know what I'm saying? We tend to take out our problems on each other when we don't know exactly what the hell is going on behind closed doors. You understand? Salakia. We go to 1 Samuel chapter 13. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 19. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. A smith is like a gunsmith or somebody that works with metal. You understand? Back in these times, of course, a smith would be somebody that made swords or something like that. And for the Philistines said, lest the Hebrews make them swords or spears. The reason why we didn't have no smiths in our land of Israel at that time is because we was being ruled over by the Philistines, which is so-called another African nation. You understand? Just like the Egyptians. And they didn't want us to make us swords or spears because they didn't want us to be able to fight for ourselves. They didn't want us to be able to have a military background. You understand? This is gun control right here in the Bible. You understand? Just like how you got gun control in the United States today. You understand? When the Black Panthers stormed the nation capital with all of them damn guns, they switched the gun laws in California and made the gun laws in California one of the strictest places to actually own a gun in the United States. And this was all because Negroes started to fight back against the oppression, and they used guns to do it. So the oppressor had to say, look, we got to come up with these different criterias, and you got to have different credentials to actually obtain a gun in this land. It's gun control right here in the Bible. And the reason why they had gun control right here in the Bible is for you not to be able to fight, you understand, to protect your nation. You understand? Salakia. Let me get Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. You got to remember you got to remember the days of old and consider many generations. You understand? Remember what happened to your people in slavery. Remember what happened when redlining was going on. When you know what I'm saying? Do research on these things. Look at what happened in the past that shaped your damn future. That's what you got to do. You understand? Remember what happened in slavery to your ancestors. Remember how they fed your children to alligators. Remember how they cut brothers' feet and rods off. Remember how they ripped babies out of sisters' womb, you understand, and hung children, women, how they sodomized men and women, how they sold your goddamn kids from one slave plantation to another goddamn slave plantation. You understand? How our women had to breastfeed a goddamn oppressor's baby before we fed our own baby, and she might not even have her baby the next day because he gonna sell that damn baby to his brother that lived 5 states across the goddamn globe. You understand? Remember the days of old. Remember what happened in the past. This is what the scriptures is talking about, man. When you remember what happened in the past, then you're gonna understand who your enemy is. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. You understand? Ask your fathers. You understand? Of course, in this sense, these is our spiritual fathers, commanding general honors. You know what I'm saying? The captains. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, the generals, the captains. You understand? The officers with rank. You understand? All of these brothers who actually know these scriptures and been doing this for a long time, you need to get with these brothers and learn up under their feet. You understand? Ask brothers questions. You know what I'm saying? Pick brothers' brains in this school so you can understand and never forget who your damn enemy is. You understand? That's what the Lord is telling us to do. You understand? Salakia. Let me get Slacky. Let's go back to the book of Maccabees. This is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. You understand? These is many generations ago. This is during the time of the Greek Empire where they made it illegal for us to partake in our culture given to us by our forefathers. You understand? They didn't kill brothers for not wanting to eat pork. They didn't decimated whole damn families for not eating pork. You understand? They found your baby circumcised. They hung the woman, the mother of that baby, and the person who performed the circumcision. These are your goddamn enemies, children of Israel. It's not the nigga that live around the corner from you that you owe 30, 40, $50 to, or that then robbed you for whatever type of drug money that you've been harboring. Nah, that's not your enemy. You understand? The only reason why our niggas think that they enemies is because we don't know who the real enemy is. And all of this is by design. You understand? When your oppressor does so much to you, he don't want you to look up and see that you are the one that he's the reason why you in poverty. That he's the reason why your fathers and your uncles, they all went to prison and served long prison sentences because they was oppressed by the goddamn oppressor, but then sent another oppressor that worked for some goddamn government agent that propositioned them with drugs. You understand? To give them a way out of hell. And then meanwhile, when they was through with you, they threw you in prison for 30 goddamn years. And now you coming home as a damn near 90-year-old man or however many years that you did. And now your life is basically over. You got enough time to sit back on a goddamn couch, watch TV and say hi to the grandchildren of the children that you wasn't able to raise because you spent 40 goddamn years in prison. You understand? Your oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And that's who your goddamn enemy is. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Yahweh Shem Yahweh rock a thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal a thumb by Shem Yahweh to the sister. Man, look, wake up, children of Israel. Your enemy is not the nigga that lives in your neighborhood. Your enemy is not the people that you go to school with. Your enemy is the people that put you in a position to where your people cannot rise. That's who your enemy is. Your enemies funnel drugs in your goddamn community. Your enemy is not the person that you buying drugs from. You understand? Your enemy is not the person that's sitting on a street corner trying to make a couple dollars because he in hell just like you. That ain't your goddamn enemy. Your enemy is the one that created this goddamn way of life and altered your damn mind in the damn 60s, the 70s, the 80s to actually make you believe that your only way out is to live a life of crime. That's who your goddamn enemy is. Crime is real.